Hello there, hi. So today it is top 5 day. So this is the day that we tell you what our favourite things are and why, and recommend them and hope that you go out and enjoy them too. And today I'm going to start with books, which is actually quite difficult for me because I really enjoy reading and I have a lot of books, but I enjoy reading when I do it, I just don't do it that often, and I really should, because I buy books all the time. I'm like obsessed with buying books, I'm addicted to it, but I just never read them. So I might be really bad at explaining why I like them as well, because I'll either have forgotten what they're actually about, or because I'm just not very good at explaining things. So I'm selling this brilliantly, aren't I? So I'm going to close the door first of all. My first book that I'm going to tell you about is called The Dice Man, and it's actually a long time since I read it, but I bought it for 50p from a charity shop because a friend from school recommended it. And it's basically about a man who has some dice and basically uses them to make all of his decisions in life. So he'll say to himself, he'll give himself say 3 or 4 things to do, and he'll say, if I throw this number, then I'll do this one. If I throw this number, then I'll do this one. And from what I can remember, it starts off quite innocently, but then he starts to live out his horrid fantasies. So yeah, it says on the back, I will read it. This is an excerpt from the book. If that dice has a 1 face up, I thought, I'm going downstairs to rape Arlene. If it's a 1, I'll rape Arlene. Kept blinking on and off in my mind like a huge neon light, and my terror increased. But when I thought if it's not a 1, I'll go to bed, the terror evaporated and excitement swept over me. A 1 means rape, the other numbers mean bed. The die is cast. Who am I to question the dice? And I keep meaning to reread this because it's a long time since I read it, and I remember being completely enthralled by it. And the most disturbing thing about it is that it's almost autobiographical, in as much as Luke Reinhardt, the author, has named his lead character Luke Reinhardt and made him a novelist. So yeah, so it starts off really nice and like almost quite a nice idea, using dice to help you make decisions, but then he starts raping and killing people, and yeah, but it's very good. If you like dark, gripping thrillers, then this is really good, and I will reread it again soon. Yes, so this is book number 1. Book number 2 is one that I've actually not read much of. It is This, That, and I've read that much of it, but just reading that much of it makes me know that it's one of my favourite books, and it's called, this is going to make me look like such a geek, The English, A Social History from 1066 to 1945, and it has a pretty cover, which is one of the reasons why I like it so much, and pretty pictures, and it tells you about English society throughout history, basically, and it's really interesting. It teaches you where all of that English customs have come from, and how society has changed, and also ways that society have stayed the same. And it tells you everything. It has a chapter about, I'm just about to start a chapter on drinking and playing. There's a chapter on, let's have a look, where's the contents page? It's got a chapter on castles, lords and chatelains, cottagers and peasants, the plague, churches and monks, pilgrimages, pageants, tournaments and miracles, town life, how women have been treated in history, schools, crime and punishment, doctors, loads of stuff. And I'm a bit of a history lover. I was going to call myself a buff then, but I'm not. I don't know nearly as much as I'd like to. I'm considering starting some sort of course, like one of these like open university style courses, because if I hadn't done drama at uni, I would have wanted to have done history at uni. I wouldn't have been able to because I didn't do history at A-level, because history at my school was crap. But I just love reading these sorts of books and picturing myself in these wonderful times. It's just delightful, isn't it? I just love it. So yeah, I think it's going to take me a long time to read this book, but I'm really enjoying it. And yes, so that is The English, A Social History. So we've got one fiction, one non-fiction, and now we have a collection of stories and poems. And this one I put in for Kat because she shares a love of this author with me. So I thought that I would show you it. Can you guess what it is yet, Kat? Can you guess? Ah, Edgar Allan Poe. So Edgar Allan Poe was an American Gothic horror writer. He was born in 1809. Oh, he was the son of actors. And they both died within 2 years of his birth. That's quite sad, isn't it? Oh. So yes, he writes very dark, very scary, macabre stories and poems. I didn't really know much about him until I was in the 6th form, which was 7 years ago now. And we actually did flipping heck, that made me jump. There's a squirrel on the roof. Whew. Yes, I was in 6th form and we actually did a stage production of a selection of his stories. We did, see which ones I can remember that we did. The Black Cat. I was in the Black Cat and I actually played the Black Cat, and I dyed my hair black and I had cat eye contact lenses, which really freaked the audience out because I went up to the front row and was like climbing on them and they were looking at my eyes and getting all freaked out. And in the story, the Black Cat gets his eye stabbed out, so we had to reenact that and I had to have blood coming out of my eye. And my sister, who worked for the school theatre at the time, made the fake blood and she put lemon juice in it, and my eye was so painful. So if you're ever going to make fake blood that you need to put in your eyes, don't put lemon juice in it, it's horrid. Anyway, The Fall of the House of Usher. Did we do The Pit and the Pendulum? Can't remember. We did The Telltale Heart, which was amazing. And we did others as well. Oh, we did. Oh, what's the one about the Mask of the Red Death? Is that what it's called? I can't find it in here. Help me, Cat. So yeah, anyway, so we did them in like lots of different styles, like Mask of the Red Death was dancey, and there was some physical theatre ones and some very straight acting ones, and yes, it's scary and good. And he also did a poem called The Raven, which probably a lot of people know about. That's very famous. And this is a perfect example of me being crap at explaining things. But if you're into gothic horror, Victorian horror, which I am, a lot of my books are from this sort of era, then read them. They are scary and good. Kat and I were actually going to do a play, weren't we? Which one was it? Can you remember? It was The System of Dr. Tar and Professor Feather. We should totally still do that. Maybe we could make it into a film and put it on our channel. Oh!